попал под дожки. Там пишет две подушки. Девушка золотой в пушке. Тебе висят на пати. Поем каш лопаты. Пока ты кто-то как-то. Когда я зарплату. Посмотри, помойка на мне красит. Ты на шее симпатопой, мне чуть больше 23. Посмотри, помойка на мне красит. Ты на шее симпатопой, мне чуть больше 20. Ты вновь мне силовы, закатишь на голове. Сзади, сука, так ко мне, сзади, сука, так ко мне. Как дела, это новый Cadillac. Делай деньги, вот так.
А амбиция Бог на крестьянам вырос. Кто о чем мечтал, то мы взяли на вынос. И для свежий джин, весь музыкальный бизнес.
Alright, Ali, what do you think? Are we at the discoteca?
Well, we're definitely out of the 80s. Probably not the 90s either. So obviously this is much more modern. This is very recent, right? Like when was this song released?
2020 or 2021?
Like last year or something, wasn't it?
Maybe like 2
Yeah,
years
no,
ago.
definitely below 3 years.
There's a mention of coronavirus in the songs.
It was definitely before COVID. I think so.
Yeah.
Yes, it was really popular. It's
2020. Yes, 2020.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, just as COVID hit then.
Yeah.
Alright. But yeah, it was summer 2020. I vividly remember that.
Was this like the summer anthem? It's
I think
Oh
so,
my
yeah.
god, this song, like everything, like you get on the street, everywhere you go you hear it.
Yeah.
all those
Any
school
car,
kids in the buses. School kids in the
The
buses.
school kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a
Yes.
tendency you always have those kids that walk down the street with the speaker in their hand,
Bro,
and
that's
they
me.
always play some crappy music, and that's the kind of yeah.
Oh man,
But it played so loud as well, so that
Yeah.
everybody has to hear it.
So I guess to give a little bit more gravity to school children listening to this
Yeah,
song,
give
can
us
you
some
translate
lyrics.
a few of the lines for
Yeah,
our
and
listeners?
don't be, PG about it.
Yeah, alright. So can we have the shit episode? Yeah. So the song itself,
Yeah, wait, take this.
it's yeah, I think
It's called Cadillac.
yeah, the
You
car
don't
make.
have- yeah.
Obviously. Yeah.
So the pinnacle of this song is the chorus, which is got really good vibe. No good vibe. I don't want to say that, but it's it sort of gives you that movement. So you
It's like-
feel that bass, and you
Yeah.
see how people would
Yeah.
dance to that.
This
and
is
just-
definitely a party
Yeah,
song.
it's a
There's
party
no
song.
like you shouldn't take it seriously at
There's
all.
literally a line saying I'm in my early 20s, which I think just represents the whole song. Like, I'm in my early 20s,
yeah,
I
just
don't
doing
care.
whatever I want.
Yeah.
Having fun.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, the verse of this song is about him making that he's got expensive chains, he's got a lot of cash, he's got a really nice car, he's got hundreds of bitches.
Yeah.
and then
And the new Cadillac.
yeah, and then
And
he
the new
makes a
Cadillac.
rhyme out of a word. So in Russian, when you ask someone how are you, you say Cadillac, and that sounds a bit like Cadillac, which is a car make, and then he makes a rhyme out of it, and then the music video, he's got the car in there, and he's
Of course.
yeah.
It's
It
kind of like,
it doesn't bear any sort of deep meaning in it, but it's just a really nice song to
yeah, basically,
to dance to. Yeah.
yeah, the whole song is about like bitches, guns, cars, like the general vibe of
Real
someone.
bomb stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Live
Essentially.
fast, die young, man. This is
Yeah,
the way to
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, if you watch like the music video, if you like Google the artists, you'll see how they look, and they look like like really extravagant, like really tattoos on their face, like all the crazy piercings, things like that. Like they're really putting a lot of kind of I'm not sure what's the word for it. Like I guess extravagant, like that.
So this listening to this song really started to get me thinking. Like, what is the party scene in Russia like?
Yeah, that's what we want to know.
So you see, there's I feel like there are different kinds of parties. So you can have a party at a bar or at a club,
Mhm.
which is completely different from having like a
House
house party.
Yeah.
So house parties are really common because
Mhm.
people either have apartments or countryside homes where they go out for barbecues and stuff. Dacha, they're called dacha.
Yeah.
And yeah, people just get their friends, they get drinks, they get food, a huge speaker, blast some music, just enjoy themselves. So that's and obviously you get two different kinds of music played at those parties. Where for clubs you have more of a club remixes, stuff that people would dance to, and then for house parties it's the stuff like that basically.
Right. So this isn't like songs like Cadillac aren't necessarily songs that you'll find playing outside in the clubs. I'm not talking about like the kids playing it on the speakers, but
No. I did hear, like, I think these songs are also played in the clubs. Like, this one is really kind of.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to translate. Like in Russian, we say the kachает. Like,
Kachает, yeah. So it's got that thing.
Vibe,
so,
like you're
yeah,
vibing.
Do you know how
to
to explain that?
Yeah,
when you hear
vibing.
the song, you can feel your
You're
shoulder.
moving.
Yeah.
Makes you move.
Energizes you. And then obviously you. I think there's even a pack of remixes released by them
Oh, yes,
from clubs and
definitely,
stuff. So yeah, you just finally tune it for clubs a bit, and off you go. You get a banger yourself.
So like this artist Morgenstern, like he has become like extremely popular in the last few years. Like he reached his peak in the last few years, and I think his main idea was that music is not about meanings and like deep meanings or things like that. Like music is about moving and dancing and just to like have that beat. And I think that was what he was going for. Like, he was not trying to impress anyone with the deep meanings of the song, like, or, it's quite, meaningless. And
yeah, this isn't designed to be poetry.
Yeah.
This is dance music.
Yeah. This he's got a lot of controversy to him because he became popular by mocking the pop scene. So he initially started with a YouTube channel. And he was making like 15-minute beats, so he would pick on an artist and be like, "Look at how bad his music is. I can do that in 15 minutes." And then he'd do that, and it'll be exactly as he said. And people were like, "Wow!" And then I think he made an album. He went touring. That wasn't very good. But at some point, after he made a decent amount of money, he started buying all those expensive things. And I think what he mentioned in many interviews was that the secret to being popular in Russia is really simple. You just gotta hit the nerve of dance. So people don't want to listen to some music with lots of implications and sort of undertones that something complicated. People just wanna get drunk and dance at some point, just to just to unwind. And he made an emphasis on the bass, on the drum track behind it, so you can feel that it sort of makes you move around a little. And that's what his secret was, what he tells everyone.
Yeah, like another point he would make a lot was that the key to success was to kind of get emotion out of the audience, even if it's a negative emotion. Like, he would do things to like piss people off, but he was like, "Look, I'm pissing you off. I'm like getting all that hatred, but I'm still getting more popular because of that." So he had this like idea of just like, no matter what, just get the emotion out of people.
He's kind of like a showman. He just does anything to get attention, to get hype. So as much like extravagancy as you can, as much, I don't know, like in his videos, as much like richness, I would say, like as you can show, but just to get attention. Everything kind of for the hype, I would say.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a teenage protest. Like, that's why he's really so popular among high school kids, because like he just goes against everything, against the pop scene, against like other rap artists who try to do more like meaningful songs. He just goes against everything, and I feel like that kind of represents the young generation. A lot of kind of that protest against everything, against their teenagers, against their parents, against the rules, like all that.
I have a question about this artist and just like rap, kind of hip hop music in general in Russia. How is it mainly like distributed like among people? Like, is it mainly in the online form, like things like Spotify, YouTube, etc., or does he hold like big concerts too that people attend in Russia?
I think it's a mix. So he's got social media like YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. Then he's got his concerts, and obviously there's a I don't know how big of a role VK played in that. Okay.
I mean, there are some there are
Yeah.
like specific Russian platforms for music as well. So
Yeah, but I
they
don't think
release
they
their
make
music
much of a
everywhere.
difference. It's just that once the song hits the chart,
It's
you see,
everywhere.
there's the kind of music he makes. Like, obviously, people would start playing it first of all on radios. Then he'd be invited somewhere. Then they'd start playing it at venues like clubs, bars,
But-
and off it goes.
Yeah, but I think it just flows from the internet. Like he posts it on his,
Yeah,
I don't know,
yeah, but the
YouTube,
internet is-
Instagram, then it goes to Spotify and like Apple Music and just kind of with all artists nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, I think like with access to the internet now compared to, like a few decades ago pre-internet, like what's the word? Like the spreading of like new music is so much easier and it happens so much faster. I was also wondering, like, this type of like hip hop R&B, is it a booming scene in Russia? Or is it kind of just like a few folk like Morgenshtern and a couple other people and that's it? Like, how big of a scene is this?
Booming.
I think there are a lot of different ones. I mean, especially if we're talking about rap, it's really popular in Russia, but there's a big range of rap, and I think we have other songs coming up later. They're also
They're quite different. I would say this
they're really different, but
particular.
they're also rap songs.
No,
Yeah,
but
different
this one is
subgenres
like
of music.
fun songs, and you have a lot of them in like
It's
Russian
a fun
music.
song, exactly.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a
just a
really
fun-
good way to put it. It's a fun song, just to have fun.
Yeah, like the next rap songs, they are actually carrying meaning behind them, but this one is just fun song. And you have a lot of them in Russian music by like a lot of different popular modern Russian artists. So it's
Yeah, no,
quite
there are many artists who are similar to Morgenstern, but I think he's been that like booming artist recently. But I would say there are some pretty similar ones, and also this song is in collaboration with LJ, who's another really popular similar.
Yeah,
kind
we
of
haven't mentioned the featured artist on this track. His name is LJ. Yeah, he used to be quite popular as well, but he started off as I'm just gonna go on a little rant here because I grew up in the same town. He sort of, Rosen. So everybody in our town knew who he was before he got widely
big.
popular.
Yeah.
And so back then he made a completely different kind of music. So it would be a lot more political. So he was a rap music, a heavy rap music, and he would mock the government, say what the life on the streets is like, think about how drugs kill people in his neighborhood and so on. It was a different kind of music. But then as he took off and gained popularity, he completely shifted because that's not the kind of music that appeals to everyone.
Yeah.
So he quickly sort of adjusted to that. I think as he became more popular, obviously that gave him access to many more things.
yeah.
So he just sort of shifted his focus to something different.
He chose hype over meaning, is what I would say.
Yeah, but I guess that's what happens to most artists.
You forgot to give us the name of your town. You got to give your town a shout out.
Novosibirsk.
Ah.
Yeah, it's I think it's the third largest city in Russia.
That's not a town, that's a city.
I am from my little town. Everyone knows each other. Yeah, like I've had dinner at his aunt's house. So I was also kind of wondering, like, is it becoming much more popular, this like sentiment amongst the youth, this like live fast, die young?
Actually, I think maybe. I don't know. I feel like
maybe.
even after Morgenstern kind of put the scene maybe a little bit, I think after him, all of those like less meaningful songs became popular. Like he was, I think he was maybe one of those to introduce the scene to like a more broader category. But I think there's always going to be people who are going to be like, I don't know, against those songs, or are going to listen to their particular type of their genre. And there's always going to be the ones that are going to choose like just the popular charts.
I feel like at this point we're getting to the age where we're losing touch with the younger generation. So younger generation is interested in this sort of fun music, but that's sort of takes it over the edge.
Yeah.
So I personally wouldn't be able to listen to it for a long time because
Yeah.
I just don't find it interesting. But at the
They
same
did.
time, yeah, it's a bit worrying at this point. That I really-
I mean, the thing is, music like this, 10, 15 shots in, anyone will love it. You know, like.
Yeah.
well, I mean, yeah.
100% agree.
All right, so I guess like we could probably segue into.
I
the
think
next
that's a good
song,
idea.
right?
Oh.
So if you guys could introduce what we're going to be listening to after this.
Yeah. So this is actually my and Nick's favorite
And mine.
artist.
Yeah,
Well, my favorite song out of the bunch.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to say that.
you can say that. It's your personal opinion.
Yeah.
You're entitled to have one.
And it's actually by Miyagi and Andy Panda, but I think a lot of the times when they speak about the songs of this duo, they only refer to Miyagi, mostly because he's like the sort of main character in the songs. He sings most lyrics, but also because he's voiced and he's I don't know how to translate. I think it's timbre or something of the voice. It's just so different to any of the artists you probably ever listen to. I think you'll hear it on the song as well. That's why whenever someone says, "Oh, let's play a song by Miyagi," it's actually by the duo, but everyone just remembers
Right.
Miyagi.
You ready to take a listen?
Let's do it.